And welcome back to the Not In My Lifetime podcast, episode 37. Another week has passed, another City loss, which I thought I'll be saying this time last year, but it's happening. 7 games without a win. The last time we actually won a game, I was actually at the game. Allah, as I've been. So yeah, this is where we're at now, people. 7 games without
You
a
need to
win.
come up tomorrow just for the game, and then the streak will end.
Yeah. Get me a ticket, I'll be there. But then again, no, right, one away from home, so it doesn't really help, does it? It doesn't really help much, but it's kind of like it is what it is. Where's the ball guy's next to me? That's where he is tonight, mate. Big up to AP, man. Yeah, big up Jack as always. Big up Sue. Big up everyone in the chat just joining us now. Yeah, it's and also before I carry on to the game, I will make sure to include a link to the actual stream at some point to get goes on and I'll say later on. But right now I've got to get on the actual show first. But yeah, Liverpool 2, City 0. Are we surprised we lost at Anfield again? No, not at all. That was expected, really. How bad we are.
I think
but
if there was any game where we could give the players a free pass, it was going to be that one. I don't think any of us expected to get anything at Anfield. I think we're all mostly surprised that we kept the score down to 2, to be honest. It should have been 4 or 5 in that first half, and the fact that we kept it down to 1 at half time is just unbelievable, really.
It is, yeah, it's pretty shit. I just don't know. The thing is, to me, right, that was the worst game of this run for me. There have been worse games than that game on Sunday. Were we great on Sunday? No. But were we, embarrassing? I mean, first off, not great. Apart from that, I wouldn't say it was that bad. But it's still got to be said, though, that at the end of the day, Tottenham and final were the games that really sort of shocked me more than Liverpool was. Those were the games I'm like, right, that's the issue. Is it a crisis in a way? Yes. It's more of a mentality crisis than anything else. This team has lost its way. I don't care whatsoever about the players posting stuff on social media about how much they've won. I don't really care, mate. Go on the pitch and prove yourself. You've won stuff, but I'm not going to be sat here being told this and that. You've got to go out there and prove yourselves. At the end of the day, right, we know how good we can be. But the last few weeks, we have been terrible. We've been one of the worst teams in the league. Southampton have been better than us to the points.
Well, we're 19th, aren't we? Joint 19th for goals conceded this season in the Premier League.
Yeah, we are. That is how bad it's got. That is how bad it has got. So, again, don't be wrong, right? Jack, you know what, right? When I saw that, I didn't really laugh when we did that. I was like, Pep, as much as I appreciate you doing that as a bit of banter, it's not really. I get it, it's a bit of a laugh, but we've got to take it literally. If we had gone there and got a draw, that came back, or we got a win doing that, I respect it. But you're on a losing run, a winless run of 7 games. We got to look at it like this. Look, I'm not blaming him. Everyone's to blame for this. This drop of form. But again, this could have been even longer if we hadn't beaten Wolves, hadn't beaten Southampton. There have been games. It could be a longer run if we weren't careful. I said to you both as well. That Brentford game we won 2-1 was where for me it all kind of started off because although we won 2-1 that game, you could kind of tell the team had worked out how to play against us, and you could see how it was going. And
yeah, it's the same goal every single game. It's that long ball over the top. It's catching the high line, out of position. All the defenders. It takes the midfield out of the game completely, and nobody's there to defend it. But I do agree with Jack. When Pep held up the 6 fingers, I immediately thought of Mourinho. I didn't celebrate it like everyone else. I thought it was. I don't know how to describe it, but it didn't make me like it.
No, I was still sat there thinking, look, honestly, I knew we were going to lose that game, but that's how sad it's got. Like, I want to go to Anfield going for it. Like, I'm sorry, at some point, we've got to beat that team at Anfield with fans on the ground. We've got to do it at some point. It can't be forever. At some point, a team has to go there and get a result. We've got to do it at some point. So, look, don't worry, I think that team wasn't going to do it because that team was ruined by lack of obviously transfers the last couple of summers. And obviously the club didn't manage it, didn't get on with it, and obviously teams today, I would say that they realise that now. I was like, well, mate, I'm telling you that in 2023, and you just kept on like, oh, we got Nunes though, players like that. That wasn't what we were asking for. We weren't asking for like £100 million players. We were asking for proper quality players added into that team to replace the players like Laporte who we'd lost. Like Mark, we lost.
Even the players we were linked with last season aren't the quality that we need either. Well, this summer, like Paqueta, Guimaraes, they're not the upper level that we need.
Guimaraes would be a better player right now. I'd take him right now, honestly, because it's someone different. But I do agree with you. I'm just having on the way we're at the moment, it's kind of like I wouldn't mind it right now. I wouldn't mind something a bit different, but we're at the point now where the club's got to act. I mean, I'm not asking for £100 million signing in January because you want to get that in January anyway. But I expect a couple players in, at least two. You need two players.
We definitely need backup for Rodri, like emergency backup, and maybe a right back and holding midfielder are probably what I'd bring in.
Well, seeing the Frimpong news today didn't surprise me because I thought, well, we right back. It's necessary because I'm not saying it's going to be him. I think it'll be either Porro, Frimpong, or Olivento. 1 of 3 that we'll try and get. But we need someone right back. And I don't care how much you got to pay for it. You got to do it. We need quality. Don't get a cheap right back. We need someone who can do it. Buying cheap doesn't get you anywhere. Like getting like certain like little like stars and that. Fair enough. Like Echeverri, I get it, fine. But right now we need proven quality in this team to go forward. Obviously, I'm not asking for the whole quality to get fixed this summer. It ain't gonna happen this summer. It's gonna be over two or 3 seasons of rotation and change before we get to a new team. So that's what we've got to realise at the moment, mate. It's not going to change overnight or in the summer. It changed initially. But I think Walker will go. I think Edison will go. I think Edison's going to go in the summer. Because the fact that a contract hasn't been signed yet is kind of making you think, okay, is he going to stay or is he going to go? Because we've got to know at this point. Look, I'd rather keep him. I'm just saying that we've got to ask these questions now. Some of these players, do you want to be here or not? It sounds ruthless, but you got to be, mate. Like where we are right now, if we want to get back to where we were, not to like treble level, but a high level again that we used to, we've got to be ruthless on certain players, like on contracts now. I think. Obviously, the stuff like Rodri, Edison, and all that, I'd be happy to obviously give contracts because they've proven themselves enough at that level. But players who are like running on their contracts, like Edison, obviously, right now hasn't signed a new deal yet. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne, I think will leave end the season. I think he will. I think that's where it's going. Well, I'll ask you, Seymour. Do you think do you think next summer, obviously January will change anyway, but let's talk about the end of the season as well. Do you think it will be a big summer coming up?
Well, realistically, I don't think that many players are going to leave.
No, not that many.
Everybody's posting the list of players on Twitter of who they think's in danger. Like everybody's saying Stones, everyone's saying Ake, everyone's saying Grealish, Nunes, Doku, Walker. Everybody's listing half the squad to get rid of in the summer. Realistically, we're not going to get rid of 4 first-team players, are we? So
it'll be overtime. It'll be overtime.
Yeah, but next summer we're not selling 4 or 5 players. Not first team squad players. So that means we're likely to get about 3 signings in the summer, maybe maybe 2 in January, and then we'll just take it from there. But I can't see it being a big summer that everybody's expecting.
No, exactly. A question for you guys: would you take Frimpong in January around 35 to 50 million, and wait till summer to get Pedro to 70 million? For me personally, right, I think like either way, both players are an upgrade on Walker. They are right now. They're both the upgrades on Kyle Walker right now. But the question is, what do we want? Because I think Porro is better defensively than Frimpong. But again, do we want to be hassling with Levy for a whole summer over a right back? Where Frimpong with Leverkusen, you know that all right, we want them for this money. Cool, we'll pay it. They get done.
I think Porro would be the better choice, but like you say, Spurs aren't going to let him go that easily or that cheap to a rival. So Frimpong is the most likeliest, but he doesn't convince me defensively. Like he's still an upgrade on Walker, but I still don't think it's a step in the right direction. I think he's more of a winger than a fullback.
Yeah, I know. It's a thing. I think for me, either way, as long as it's someone who can do a job and be and is going to be an upgrade on what we've got already, I'm happy with it. I think Rico Lewis is an interesting one, but I think with that one, it's a whole different debate because again, he's 20 years old, and and we've got to work out for him as he gets older as he gets towards his early 20s, how is he going to develop as a player, and what's he going to develop into? Remember, he's still very young, still, mate. He's still got a lot, and I'm not saying right. He should be the right back. I think for him it's too early. It's too early for that pressure right now. You need to bet him in, Rico.
Yeah, I love Rico, but we don't know his best position, and you should really know what your best position is when you're 20, because especially when you're starting to break into the team.
Yeah.
I think he's getting a lot of unfair criticism in the last few games. I think people are using him as a scapegoat when the rest of the players aren't performing. He is one of our better players, even when we're not playing well.
Yeah.
And you can't blame him for the goals that we're conceding because a lot of them are coming from Guardiola or Walker's side.
Mm.
So
No, I agree on that one.
I think people should lay off Lewis a bit because it's not his fault.
Yeah.
And he's playing so many games. He's covering so many positions, and he's so young as well.
I don't blame Rico for it. I think the club for not backing up when it should have done. It's the club's fault and also and players as well where we're right now, where we are right now. Like,
yeah, I don't disagree, but you can't always blame the club directly for injuries.
No,
that's out of everybody's hands, and the reason why everybody's so exhausted is because of the injuries and because of playing so many games.
Yeah,
it's like what Rodri was saying. They are playing so many games, and injuries were just going to catch up on us eventually.
Yeah. Joe, what, Bassett? I actually hope I hope tomorrow happens. I think with Foden playing the way he's playing right now, I really want to see something. Look, at this point, right? If I'm being real with you, I drop Foden. I drop him to the bench because
I think he should be the first player on the bench.
I'm sorry,
over everybody else because he's just not performing. Nothing. He's doing nothing.
I've said before on other shows, right, as well that I've done recently, right, with certain channels and that. I don't think he's world class, and people are like, "Oh, what do you mean?" A world class player is someone that performs very well for one season and then doesn't do it next. He has to do it consistently at a high level to be a world class player. It's
not just moments either, consistently in every game. And if we're being honest, do you think he deserved Player of the Year last year?
I think he did.
I've spoken to a few people City fans who aren't sure that he actually deserved it last year.
I think he kind of did for how good he was, but then again, I wouldn't have blamed it if Robbie won it. Because Foden for me, right? Look, I get he's a City fan and we obviously want to back him. Of course we do. But I just don't feel like
there's a bit of a sentimental bias towards him because he's a City lad.
I don't
And
know.
you,
I
you
back
have
him.
you have to admit when players aren't playing well. Otherwise, it's just keep playing them until they get back into form. But we've seen that with Rashford, it doesn't really work.
Yeah. George, you're right, Jack. I agree. Foden right now, and the thing is, I've tried to obviously tell about this as well. Obviously, you guys as well. It's not that I don't rate him. I rate Phil Foden, but to be honest with you, I just find it like to be a world class player, you've got to be doing it at a higher, at consistent level. Like De Bruyne's been doing it for many years. Haaland, I think he is at that level now, where he is world class because how goals he does score. But again, is he perfect? No, he's not. He's a lot of work to do still. How much he's an elite goal scorer, we can all say he can do a lot better at certain things.
Yeah, with Foden, he should be really controlling games now. He should be that guy, but he doesn't. He seems to play better when De Bruyne is there. But when De Bruyne is there, he's more on the wing, isn't he?
Yeah.
And
Big
at
up
the
Tony.
moment, Foden's playing in his preferred position in the middle, and
Yeah.
he's not performing. So
Illegal, big up chat, of course, blue panel, title race, so I'm a winning. Mate, I win tomorrow. Bonnie, I hope mate, a win would be brilliant right now. I'd take it. Just to be a 1-0 win, 3 points on the board, I'd take it. Look, title race, I'm not saying it's over. I think you're right. It's never over until it's probably over. But forget about it for the moment. Focus on the here and now on our own form. Get the form back, get the wins on the board, and let's see where we are in the new year. That's what I want to do right now. Because look, if you ask me now, does it win it? I'd say no on current form, on where we're at right now. But it can change. Things can change. But obviously, we can see the change before we start saying about the league. That's where I'm at right now a bit. Again, it's not over, but I want to focus on the here and now rather than focusing on like down the line.
yeah, I agree. Just forget about the league for now.
Yeah.
Just sort out the internal problems. Forget about everything else. Don't worry about everyone around us.
Foden's world class. Said issues off the field with health. He's still finding his feet this season anyway. Yeah, look. I'm not. Look, I mean, the thing is for me, right, is I am not saying he can't be world class either. I think he can be. We've seen how good he is, and like I'm sure he can be a world class player. But we got to see him. Like, look, I get obviously off field stuff. Fair enough. And hopefully tomorrow is the start of him coming back into it again. If it is, brilliant. But honestly, of what I've seen of him, like I'll look at his stats over the season. So I'll count. Like, I won't count 1920 because that was where he sort of got into the team on the bench. I'd say 2021 of his breakout year. Brilliant. I'd say that was a world class level season for him overall of Phil that year. Then in 21-22, not so great. Wasn't a hit and miss here and there, but I wouldn't say it was terrible. 22-23, a lot better. But again, injuries and stuff happened towards the end of the season. We're kind of ruining chances of getting back in the team again. Last season, unbelievable. Fantastic season from him. I thought it was a world-class season. This season, I don't know. It's obviously it's still not done yet. A long way to go before we decide what it is, what isn't. But we can see Phil start hitting that level every year. I'm not saying like 30 goals a season. He's not a striker, but someone who can hit the level of a high level ceiling, of creating chances, scoring goals, doing that on an assistant basis. That's when I'll start saying he's world class. Like Saka for me is a great player, but even to me here he's world class. He's world class to me. World class players do it constantly over every season they play, almost as they do play. Look, I think Kevin De Bruyne for me, he's still world class. I know he's not out of the team, but when he's actually starting games again, you'll see it again. You will see his level come back again because he hasn't lost his level. It's that he's getting older, but his ability to find the pass and score goals it hasn't gone. Once he starts playing football again, we'll see him back to his level again. But that's what I mean. Like it's just down to how they apply it. Yeah, I'm not worried at all about it. I think it'll get better, but I just I want to see Phil really get back into his bag and back into his level again. That's what I need to see him do first.
Yeah, we all do. We all love him. We all rate him on his day, but he just needs to get that consistency because we know what he's capable of. He just needs to remember that as well.
Yeah, right. So this is about John Stone. So no change from what we did last week. At least a few weeks by sound of it. I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'm standing John Stone in the summer. We can't keep doing this for
Yeah,
much
we,
longer.
we discuss it every week, don't we? But
No, I don't want to, but we've got to anyway because like he's not playing enough games. Like, don't get me wrong, when he's playing, he's brilliant. There's no doubt about that at all. But we can't have a player that's just constantly in and out of the team forever on the on the injury bench. Like, I know that sounds quite harsh, but we want competition in the squad. That players who are injuries will happen. Of course, I'm not saying that happen at all. But with John, it's been a recurring story the past how many years? 6, 7 years.
it has been every year. But it was the same with Company, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, it was.
This season, all of our defenders have had injuries. Like Akanji's been out multiple games. Diaz
Yeah,
has been out
okay.
for quite a few games.
Vardy's
Ake
been.
consistently. So it's again like, how far do you want to go with getting rid of players? Because you can't get rid of Ake and Stones. So it's one or the other, and I still think it'll be Ake. And I don't want either of them to go, really.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Game at a time, but we still wouldn't title. Yeah, mate, we still can. I just think at the moment it's not quite ain't there yet for me. I need to see us improve first before it's a big thought, and then if Liverpool drop points and get back in it again, then let's see what happens. But at the moment, considering how far behind we are at the moment, the priority should be focus on ourselves, get the wins, and just forget about everyone else. One game at a time. Because look, at some point, this team will get back in second place again. It will. Then it's just about where Liverpool are. But right now, we're fifth. Get back to second first, then more about title. We're fifth right now. I want to get back to top two bases at least before I start worrying about a title race. I know everyone's different, but that's where I'm at right now. But big up, so just having a chat on, mate. That's what I mean, Jack. That's what I mean as well. You know what I mean? It's just his ability hasn't gone. Kev's ability is still there. Like, it will always be there. The problem is that, I mean, well, from what I've heard today about it, apparently he's getting a lot better. And apparently, what it was, I think, is that I think one of his pelvic bone, I think, was been being injured. I think obviously as a result, obviously it affects his ability to walk. I think obviously without any pain. Apparently that's a lot better now. Apparently, so he should be. Hopefully, he'll be starting games soon, which is good. I want him back in the team again because we need him back in the team.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We need someone to drive us forward and just take a grip of the game.
I say he's 33,
Nobody's doing that.
But for me, right, I watch him run. He isn't slow at all. He isn't slow. Still pretty decently quick for someone of his age. Like, he's not like, and does he run a lot? No, he often does a lot of jogging more than a lot of movement. But I wouldn't say he's lost his ability to run. The legs are still there. I think.
Well, look at Messi, for example. Messi doesn't run all over the pitch, does he? Like when he plays for Argentina, he does tend to just stroll around sometimes, but he still controls games.
Yeah, exactly.
De Bruyne will be the same. When he loses that yard of pace, he can still pass.
Yeah, exactly. I just look for me. Look, I mean, the actual game itself, it was a frustrating game. It was. I think for me, the fact is that Liverpool showed how good, how much better they were. They were a better team than us. I'm not saying better. They're a better manager, but on current form at the moment, I'd say he's probably the best manager in the world right now. On current form, along with Inzaghi into Milan. I think that's probably where
it's like he's been managing them for years, isn't it? Like, he's just fit in and done a brilliant job from day one, and nobody would have expected that from Slot.
To be honest, I knew he was a good manager because I watched him at final a few times, and I knew he would do a great job. It's just about how would he transition into a team like Liverpool. And I think he's done that really, really well. I think the problem is with Slot though is that he wasn't battering, was he? Like he got Chiesa, and he's barely played like one game for them. And they've got Amarishvili, who's also a good keeper, by the way. He's a good keeper. I think he'd be a great Alisson replacement for them. He's a good keeper. That a keeper from Georgia who's won the Euros? Amarishvili. Amarishvili, I think his name is. He's from Valencia. He's a good keeper. As I said, they've also invested well in the future as well. I think with Slot, though, it's down to his first big summer he gets. How will he do? Like, who will he bring in? Because I think right now the team's doing really well. Like, he's got that player.
It depends on their contract situation as well, doesn't it? Because it sounds like Salah's going to Saudi. Alexander Arnold's going to Madrid.
Sorry, you got to keep Salah. You got to keep Salah. If he wants to stay, for God's sake, you want to keep Mo Salah around. That's what. Like, if Kev really well, I give Kev a new contract for about a year. So go on, let's give him an extra year. I'm not saying 2 years, extra year. Next year does it again, another year on that. Because until he starts running out of energy, he's still playing really well. Keep him around. You might as well. I don't want to lose him just for the sake of it.
Well, it depends on what he wants to do as well. He wants to do what's best for his family, doesn't he? And that's usually just to stay put. But it depends on how he's feeling and how he's playing, not just if the club offers him a contract or not.
So can you as a DM tomorrow? Do you know what? I'm not right now. If anything, I'm not against anything right now. I mean, whatever works, right? Just go with it. Because at the moment, there's no especially for injuries right now. Certain players have to play week in, week out. I just want to sort of see something different, a bit of a change up, because it's clear that the current system isn't working, and we need something different going forward.
Probably go back to 4 centre backs in defence again. I think play all of them. Akanji, Diaz, Ake, Guardiola, just play them all.
I think at the moment, mate, with Baz, I think what it is, it's not a mental block. I think, well, it could be part of it, but I think what it is that he's got a pain, I think, in his pelvis. I think that's what's been talked about. He's got a pain in his pelvis right now, which is affecting his ability to, I think, walk, obviously, or run consistently. I think that's what, obviously, I'm not saying that's confirmed, by the way, but that's what I'm hearing about it, obviously, from certain reports. So hopefully, if that's what's sorted, it's getting sorted now. Hopefully, that means to be able to start playing a lot more consistently. Jack, so do I, mate. It's lots much better manager overall, I think. Big up to Steve Lewis. Obviously, got to see him on the LB show and obviously on Martin's streams as well. Rumors about Oscar Bob facility news, the training. He's not training yet, Oscar Bob. I think he's back. I think ready to get tested. I think at the moment. I think he's just sort of just getting tests, getting himself back obviously up to shape again. I think soon he'll be training soon. I think, on his own, obviously individually or back. But the main thing is I think he's back soon, which is a positive. Because I'll tell you, Oscar Bob Wright is, I'm not saying he'd save our season, but he definitely would help us for going forward. Definitely, a different option.
Give us a bit of a positive to look forward to. Don't put too much pressure on his returning because he won't be starting games when he's back.
Would you consider dropping Gunnar for O'Reilly? At this point, mate, give anyone a go. Because Goodwin's 34, mate. He's playing way too many games for someone of his quality. I
wouldn't throw O'Reilly in though.
Not O'Reilly, but someone different. I mean, when Cover's back, Cover, Nunes, just someone different in the midfield than Goodwin. Man, he's too old now, man.
Yeah, when Kovacic is back, that position's his. But try Nunes there. Nunes was playing centre back as well the other day. He was running back more than the defenders were running back. He put in a proper shift, and he could do a job in midfield.
Do you want to do as well, right? I'd also would just start playing Savio and Doku on the wings for a few games and say, right, you know what, you two, you get this month both together on the wings. Let's see how you do. Because at some point, we got to try it at some point. And I've got Jack. Put Jack at the 10 with Kev. Play Doku and Savio on the wings. Say, right, let's give this a go. See how it works. You never know about it. Because I think Doku, when he came on, I'm not saying he did a lot, but if the pace is there, he can get past players easily. That's not the issue.
He caused problems. He came on, he made a positive impact, but it's just the same again as with Doku. He's good at the hard work. He's good at the dribbling. He's good at taking players on. Do something at the end of it.
Again, I'm not doubting him. I think he can do it. I mean, we've seen it, haven't we? That he can score goals and get great chances. He can do it. It's just if he does it consistently on a consistent basis, he'll be probably one of the best players in the league. Facts, he would be. Like him and Like even Savio is like the same. When both of them start kicking into gear, you will see probably one of the best pair wingers in the league. You will.
I probably wouldn't start both of them, but I think
think
it's one or the other at the moment.
Yeah, but again, like both of them aren't bad players, but we've seen enough from them to say, well, they're not bad players. They're just with Savio in terms of goals, it will happen. It will come. Like the goal, like anything, right? It isn't for what trying, is it? It isn't for what trying. The guy just needs a better team around him right now. If we had a better team right now, I think he'd be playing even better than he's playing right now. Like the start of the season was against Chelsea, brilliant. And you see what he could do. I just think all you need to do is start giving him a little bit more time. But,
yeah, it's a common thing, isn't it? In Pep's teams, it's usually the second season when they start performing. So
yeah, exactly.
we should be seeing more from Doku this season, really. But then you have to question that in the summer as well, don't you? If Doku's not performing, do you give him more time?
Do you think Pep will have something to see? No, he won't. I think Pep will leave on his own terms. He will. I think that look, me personally, when it comes to Pep, I just whatever happens with him happens with him. Like, I mean, when he leaves, it'll be sad, but either way, we will always be his supporting team. No matter if it's Pep or someone else managing the team. But
we could lose every game this season, and I still wouldn't sack him.
No, exactly. I'll keep him around.
Absolutely never going to sack Pep.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Ahmed, I agree. He's not a DM, Nunes. He's not a DM at all. He's a box on midfielder at best, or winger.
Well, if you take that into consideration, Gundo isn't a holding midfielder. Kovacic isn't a holding midfielder. Lewis isn't a holding midfielder. Against Liverpool, Bernardo was playing holding midfielder. Put Nunes there, give him a go.
Yeah, look, for me personally, if I'm starting a team, right, I mean, look, on Wednesday, Ortega or Edison, whoever you want to pick for that one, I don't really mind. The other for that one. I mean, I start Diaz again. You got to get him some minutes in the tank. I thought he wasn't bad against Liverpool.
Yeah, Diaz is unstoppable. He makes a... Well, he made a mistake for the goal, didn't he?
But it's his first game back as Anfield. I can't exactly sit there and think, right, what you do? Look, he'll learn from that because his first game back. But also, Walker was terrible as well. Wonders him. I start Kanji, Rock, Diaz, Vardy, Ake. That's what I go back for. Yeah.
I think it would be the other way around. I think Guardiola would be left back and Ake would play on the left side.
I like to see Vardy said about some point. Him and Diaz are back together at some point.
I think this season Guardiola's proven why we're not seeing him as centre back this season. Because
to me, Vardy,
he's been at fault for a lot of goals.
But again, though,
defensively he's not brilliant.
But he's played so many games over recently. That's the thing. I'm not doing the whole we can't make a mistake. He can. He made mistakes. And I call him out for it. But with Josko, he played so many games already because of injuries. Like he's knackered. And I'm happy he got arrested at Liverpool because I think he needed it. I think I just with him when it comes to having a better team around him, he'll be a better player himself. So I'm not worried about him at all when he's Vardy. But the midfield is once we get a better midfielder in that DM role, be a lot better because that missing anchor is what's letting us down constantly right now.
I'd still probably say give Guardiola a chance at holding midfielder as well.
Oh yeah, no, I would. But that's why we need someone else instead of Stones to say about them going forward. Because I think someone who's got a little bit more I won't say experience, but I say someone who's much better than, not better than Stones because Stones is a good level anyway. But I think if Stones can't stay fit, someone who can play more minutes than he can. Someone who's
that's the thing as well because Stones is still at a high level when he plays. He's still as well. And he still easily walks into the starting 11, which is what I was saying last week. But
it's a hard one, mate. It's a hard one.
It's just weighing up how strong his performances are compared to how often he plays.
Right.
But I wouldn't sell him. I wouldn't ever sell him.
No. Look. For Liverpool, but of Liverpool's 2 goals, right? When you watch them back, I mean, the ease that Salah had to pass that ball into the box of Gakpo was like just Walker not even marking it.
Walker had no idea Gakpo was behind him. He had absolutely no awareness of any. He had the cheek to look at everybody else.
I was like, "Are you serious? You haven't got some like look, don't get me wrong, right? I think the defense actually wasn't that bad on Sunday. It was a lot better than what I've seen recently. The problem is that we need to get rid of someone like Walker who ain't good enough. If we have a better right back right now, then I think we're looking a lot better. Better right back, much better
It would
defense overall.
fix a major issue because it is really every game it's either coming down Walker's side or it's coming down Guardiola's side, and it's a long ball over the top every time. And
Yeah.
Walker's giving players that extra yard of pace because he thinks he's going to keep up, but he's never going to keep up anymore.
Yeah. Hold on. So I've had a look at that recent news. So obviously, I'm not sure if you heard about the Gyökeres rumours recently.
I saw that earlier.
Right. The thing is, I'm not necessarily against it. I kind of see what, because obviously, what I've heard is actually a lot of rumors are actually quite true, which doesn't surprise me at all. He's a top striker, and I get you want competition, of course. You know, it's good to have Haaland on his toes, and it keeps both of them on their toes. I think you can do a system where both are together. You can do that. Like, I think it's possible for us to go to up top, but it all depends on how you change the team around them. Because I think what you need with two up top is wing backs. So does that mean we're going Frimpong, or Porro, and Savio on the left to do that kind of stuff, or Vardio? What we've got to do is work out what we're going to do. Because if we're going two up the top, it's got to be like you remember the Mendy and Walker full wing backs with Jesus and Aguero up front. I love that team. Even though it didn't last very long, I loved watching it because it was so good. It was like he had Ottoman Stones as a company as a back line of like obviously Edison in goal. Yeah, Fernandinho, De Bruyne, and Silva. I love that team. It was such an interesting team to watch, but it's just when you look back at it, if we went for Gyökeres and Haaland up front, that would be insane. But I still thought it's all down to what we decide to go with around them.
Yeah, I don't see that move happening. Like, I think he's going to go to United if he's going anywhere, I think.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see a elite striker force like that in our team, but it's just down to what we're going to play. Like, is Pep going to change formation? Like, I think he will, Pep. By the way, I think Pep will change it up. I think he will.
When? Do you think he'll change it tomorrow?
I think over the course of the season, you'll start seeing a change of the system. I'm not saying right now, but
in the last 7 games, we haven't played differently. It's just it's the same formation. It's the same, usually the same players.
Yeah,
playing the exact same way. Pep's stubborn. He'll keep doing it until it works.
See, look again with Gyökeres. As far as I'm aware, like I've asked around of what I know. Apparently, there are genuine like talks going on with him right now. I think if we are actually going with that, and we've got a system that works, and we're going to start shifting to that kind of team. Although then I have to wonder though, why did we get rid of Alvarez then? Like it was going like again. I'm not against it. Like I'm fine with something different. I'm fine with it.
We got rid of Alvarez because he wanted to leave, didn't we? Like I don't think it was the club's decision to let Alvarez go, especially this year after winning the World Cup.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I mean. Like it's okay. Do you think Pep will attempt to put a 3-5-2 with Gyökeres and Haaland up top and Vardy? Joe, what I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against something different, but again, it's down to what we see. If Pep gets in a lone player or a striker in to then try it out with someone before going with Gyökeres, again, I'm not saying no to it. I'm just saying I like Danny's point of thing as well. How is that going to work? Because who's going to have to leave if they're going to do that? Because again, look, Frimpong, him or Porro, probably what we're probably looking for right back. I think in the summer, Walker's gone. In summer, he's gone at least, or this
Yeah,
season.
we have to start like taking it as fact that Walker's leaving this summer.
Yeah.
Like the report that we both saw on Twitter earlier, that the club have decided that they probably should have let him go last summer. That's what we were saying 2 years ago.
I was just someone saying Frimpong or someone like that. I was just constantly doing that, like someone, like not Walker again. I knew it was coming, but obviously they didn't. But whatever. At least I'm seeing it now, I suppose. But we knew what was coming with Walker because we could see it from a mile away. The legs are gone. Like, mate, Mbappe right now would kill him. He's playing shit right now, Mbappe. But right now, he'd cook him. He would.
Like even in the treble season, Walker wasn't starting the big games, was he? He didn't start in the final.
No, he didn't.
And the signs were there then. And then he was supposed to go to Munich, and then Pep made him stay, made him captain, and then he didn't perform that season. He's not performing this season.
Yeah, I know.
That's up there as one of the club's mistakes.
Absolutely. Like, look, I'm not against change. Neither are you. Like, I think that's what I want now at this point. A bit of a change up, not a whole squad changer up. Refresh, massive thing like that, but something a little bit different. Something something that we can sort of like see a change around, because this team is going to change a lot over the next couple of years. I want to see what the plan's going to be for that.
Yeah, I'm not against signing a new striker, but I don't think that should be where we're focusing on.
No, that should be like the priority after we've got players in. Right?
Yeah, we need to reinforce midfield and defence and sort out Edison's contract before we focus on up front, because let's face it, nobody's getting in over Haaland. So whoever we bring in, they have to accept that they're going to be Haaland's replacement. Well, not replacement, but backup.
And also think about it as well, right? I mean, like Pep's obviously got a new dinner and obviously, that's obviously the signed. Now, if he stays longer, that's cool. But I want to know, like, obviously, I'm not asking for a long term contract, but I just want to know if we're going to change the system up. I think he'll stay longer. That's the case. Because I think changing a system like this is taking time. A lot of change around. You can't just force the system to play and think, right, here we go for that. You got to like bed it in over a period of time to get to that level. I think that's what we need to start looking at. What is going to be the way? Are we converting? Is that going to happen or not? Like, what's the plan? Like, what's the first step? I mean, for me personally, I think Jeremy from Poro will be the first players in play it through the door in summer. Walker will be gone. New right back in. That's the first piece.
Yeah, if Walker's leaving, they need to replace him. So that's priority for me at the moment. And then once we figure out what's happening to De Bruyne, that'll be the priority next.
Yeah. News, by the way. Alex Crooks put out. Well, I know it's Talk Sport, but we've got to take it for what it is. Sheffield United are interested in Kyle Walker, who is one of the players City will moving on next summer.
Well, he always said he wanted to go back to Sheffield, didn't he? So let him. Take him.
Yeah. And to be honest, you're right. That as all you need to know really there, that he's off. And I think he knows himself really that's done now. I think he knows himself, right? I mean, the fact that Ruben Diaz isn't captain of this team is a disgrace in itself. I mean, I know the players voted for him, but guys, what are you? Like, come on, surely you can see what we're seeing.
I don't think they did vote. That wasn't a player decision, I don't think, giving Walker the captaincy.
Was it good?
Going forward, once Walker's left, we need a captain who's stable.
Yeah, we do.
A decent captain is stable for a few years Not don't just keep handing the captaincy out to a different player every season.
Agreed. Yeah.
How many captains have we had since Company? We had Company,
Fernandinho,
Silva, Gundogan, Fernandinho, Walker.
We need a captain for the long term.
That's what I mean. It needs to be more than 2 years for a captain.
I think sentimentality, just get rid of it. Like for me, best player for the job for me is Ruben Diaz. Vice captain Rodri. There you go. There's your captaincy right there. Not 5 captains, 2 captains. There you go. Vice and a captain. There you go. That is that's what should be the way. 5 players, like what? 5 cap? What? Leadership group. I get it's a thing, but like it's like why got 5 players there? Like look, if you're the third choice, of course go for a third choice, but seriously, 2, a captain and a vice captain is what it should really be. Simple.
Yeah, you shouldn't really need 5 captains. You just need the captain and the vice. It's like any other job. You have the team leader or the manager, and then you have their assistant. You don't have assistant to the assistant to the assistant.
Yeah. Big up, Steve. How you doing, mate?
How you doing, pal? You all right? Nice to talk to you.
As good to you, mate. Good job on LB's show recently. They're doing a good job on that. Obviously, considering our panel shows are mad as it is, good on you for us doing a good job. But welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Obviously, discussing Liverpool and all the transfer madness the past couple of days. Well, not in madness, rumours going around right now of who we're linked with, who we aren't linked with. I mean, I'll ask you this, obviously, because you obviously see it as much as we have. The whole Gyökeres, obviously, rumours right now, obviously, from what I've heard, they're quite legitimate. Obviously, of us going for him. Can you see that being a change, the 2 up top? Because I'm not against it, but it's a massive change from what we're used to the past few years. Do you think that'd be a viable change?
Yeah, well, first of all, nice one for having me on, mate. I appreciate it. I appreciate the message as well. And like you say, in regards to LB's channel, I was more than happy to make an appearance on there because I've been watching him for years. So when I got the chance, I took him, mate, and got on there. Had a few things to say, and I enjoy it. I enjoy getting on there and having things to say about my club because it's what I love. I love my club, and I like talking about my club. So any opportunity, I really appreciate it, mate.
No, yeah. All right.
In regards to Gyökeres, mate, listen, I watched that guy for a while now, and I think he's a killer. And I'm not surprised because I've always seen my club as a serious club. And so if we're linked with the hottest thing coming, I'm really not surprised. And the only thing that does surprise people is the fact that potentially people say, oh, it makes no sense. We have Haaland. And now this is where I'm thinking, I'm not against this change. As you said yourself, I'm not against the change because at this moment in time, things aren't exactly going right. So Pep is a proactive man, and he has been known to make changes before. He's played 2 strikers before, briefly with Aguero and Jesus. I don't think he's against it. He's gone back. He's gone to a false 9, and then he's played a striker again. Before we had Haaland, people said, "How we're going to get Haaland? It's going to be a madness. How are we going to do this? We don't know how to play with a striker." And then boom, next thing you know, we're playing with the best striker in the world, and now we're linked with the next best striker in the world. And Pep could be looking at this, and like I said, being proactive. I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I don't think it's not going to happen this season. Obviously, I don't think we're going to see any change in system this season. We might warm to it a little bit with 1 or 2 signings in January, but certainly by the summertime for next season, we could potentially see that change. And I don't think we should be too surprised should it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know everything right now. The priority is to get the form back on track again. Like, I mean, I've said before earlier on the stream, I want to get wins first before I worry about any kind of title or trophies right now. Like we're in a mess. I want to get 3 points on the board in the league and start building stuff back up again to a good level of where we used to. I mean, obviously, long term, we all know obviously what we want. I think I want to ask you this as well. Well, Frimpong or Porro, who would you go for?
I go for Frimpong. I really do. I think he excites me a little bit more. I think is he I don't know. I know Porro's not. He's not old. He's like maybe 25. I think
Yeah.
Frimpong's is he a little bit younger? Is he?
It's about a year difference between both of them. I think that's what I know.
Well,
I think.
I've not seen him a whole bunch of times, but from when I have seen him, I've just seen him whipping some delicious balls in the box, and I think we're really missing an attacking dynamic from the fullback areas. I think we really missed that, and I think if we can get that, especially in terms of a change of system for next season, Frimpong could be absolutely perfect for that. I mean, can you imagine him whipping balls in from the right hand side for two killers in the box, like Haaland and Frimpong? You know, I mean, Haaland and Gyökeres. It's just, I think there's some big potential there, mate. But we'd also need someone on the left hand side as well. I think Gvardio could come in the free in the centre backs, and on the left side we're going to need someone similar as Frimpong as well. You know.
That's what I mean. Like we're at a point now where it's a lot of change. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's very risky, very easy to believe certain things. I think, look, some rumors you can't trust from people that you obviously know. But we're at that point, obviously, before January, obviously, was a month before of the window again. You know, players we're linked with. It's like you got to obviously take it with a pinch of salt, no matter what it is. Like that's what I always do. Like even though Martin and Tone doesn't know their stuff, like they said themselves, it's always going to happen, guarantee. You got to just take it. You know, it's good to at least hear some news. That's why I look at it. It's better than nothing at all. But
exactly, mate. I think I'm really happy to see that we do look to be being a little bit proactive in the market. Like with the links that I'm seeing decent sources that are linking us with signings, and I'm just glad to see that we are being proactive, because I do think things are going to be done, mate.
Yeah. Hong, how you doing, mate? Good.
How you doing, Luke? Thank you so much for having me on here, man. How you?
Hong, nice to see you on, mate. I see you on a lot of spaces. Nice to see you, Hong.
Oh, how you doing, Steve? You okay? And Danny as well. Thank you so much for having me on here. First and foremost.
Oh, you're welcome, mate.
Yes, yeah. Fire away, Luke. Would you like to ask me?
Well, I've asked Steve already. I'll ask Danny earlier on as well. Obviously, look, the whole Lloris thing obviously is obviously confirmation of going to happen or whatever. But would you be up for a two-striker formation change-up?
Well, first of all, like I slept on this when I was on with this you last time when Bevel was explaining this, and I slept on it, and I just said to myself, like, hold on a second, do I think for myself that Gyökeres would be happy playing a supporting act for Haaland? And first of all, when I slept on it, when I woke up, and I thought, hold on a second, maybe this is what Haaland needs on a personal level. Not only take a rest, but needs a bit of a kick up the backside. And thinking that, hold on a second, like, and Gyökeres, like, having watched him closely for Sporting Club de Portugal last season and this season as well, as boys with the Swedish national team, I thought, yeah, I think he could definitely give, because I thought maybe from his perspective, you know, thinking, okay, nice that City are linked with me, but would I want to come and be a back of the Haaland? But also, maybe the sporting director and Pep and the higher expectation, no, yeah, you think maybe from the outside looking in, you probably think you'll probably be a supporting actor, but no, you're going to come in to actually be competition to him and actually push him to become better. And of course, there's a possibility of him playing with him, because maybe I would like to see a two-striker and see how this works, because it definitely gives the opposition centre-backs something a lot to think about, that they won't focus on just one man. They'll focus on just two and thinking, okay, if I mark Haaland out, but also you got Gyökeres to worry about, and vice versa as well. So it'll probably give space to both, and maybe it gives space to the winger as well to, like, you know, get them worried about them as well. So I am open to it, of course. I mean, I would definitely back it. You know, that's if from Gyökeres' perspective, if he wants to come and, you know, fight for his place and become either a lone man or be a two-striker as well. I mean, it's just nice to see all this, you know, transfer with. But of course, like, you know, I want to, you know, not burst my energy out, just hold it in until hopefully see the moves will happen, hopefully January and summer onwards as well.
I think, look, with January, I think obviously we know is that it won't be a massive window. I think maximum probably two at most, I'd say we'll probably get, which is probably what we need. A midfielder, and maybe I think the right back situation I can't see changing unless Walker leaves properly in January, which I can't see that happening unless drastic changes happen between now and January. I think a midfielder will come in, maybe a striker on loan for a bit to just help Haaland out, probably for a few months. But I think next summer we'll start seeing the real changes happen. I think Pep's gonna be very ruthless now. I think he has to be. Like I think the rest of this season, everyone's playing for their places now. There's no guarantee anymore. Like you've all got to now play. I mean, Haaland obviously done his job this year. I can't not knock him at all. Obviously now and again a bit hit and miss here and there, but most of it I'd say he's been very good. But I think everyone else in this team needs to prove themselves now going forward. Forest tomorrow is a huge one, not just for obviously our season, but I think overall itself. I think like there's this squad and how it's going to look, because I think this team's going to change quite a bit. I think tomorrow will be a real eye opener to see who's going to start. I think I want to see Jack Grealish in the 10. I think we got to see. I think Foden has been good all season. Obviously, apart from the odd game here and there in the Champions League, I want to see someone else give him a chance in that midfield. Because I mean, right now, injuries aside, I want to see something different. But obviously, I'll ask you guys, obviously. But do you want to see Grealish in the 10? You guys?
I've been crying out for it for the last 3 years. I think he's been more suited to play in the middle of midfield, and I'd love to see him playing off the striker because I think he's perfect for that.
Yeah, I agree.
I like to see
Yeah,
it as well.
it's took 3 years, man. I mean, it's took 3 years to hear the idea come to fruition in Pep's head. I mean, Pep finally discussed it, didn't he? It took him 3 years.
Yeah, I think
he's not a winger. He's not like Doku or Savino, but he does do a really good job as a winger, but not in the way that everybody wants him to. People's expectations are so high of him. I think in midfield, if he did the box-to-box role or as a number 10, I think he'd be perfect at that.
Yeah, I like to see it too. I mean, I don't know why, maybe from Pep's perspective, why he just sees him as a winger, because I feel like there's a sense of frustration. Well, for me personally, to see Grealish on the wing, I feel like, yeah, he's wasted there, and I feel like he does. I do like to see him be tested out there and see how he performs there. Of course, like just give him a chance to fail, and just go on from there. And if he performs well, then just keep him there as well. And then, of course, like because he did play in that position when he was at Aston Villa, that got him the move to City. And if most of the time, if not all the time, he's just been playing left wing, and like it just feels like I feel like Pep has held him back at times, especially on the wing. But now, let's just see what he's capable of in the middle, and just hopefully he performs well. Just give him a chance to fail.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Jack have a bit more freedom to his game. He has been told to just stick to the wing and not take any risks and just keep the ball, which he is good at. He just needs let him loose, because we all know what he's capable of, and that's why we bought him.
Yeah, just let the shackles off now. I think this isn't done for many years, but I think it's at the point now where everyone's worked it out now. And it's time to allow a bit of freedom in this team again. Like, let the wingers go for it. Like, the old, I'm not asking for a Sonny Sterling Aguero level of quickness, but something like we've got a striker who's tall enough to get headers and obviously getting that. Other wing is to just go for it. I mean, skill, whatever you need to do, and just have shots, get the ball in, just go for it. Because I tell you what, I'm not saying it would guarantee wins all the time, but it's something different, energy in the team. And it's a bit more like, rather than relying on the midfield too much, the wings get a bit more opportunity to express themselves, and it's a bit of a change up, and it allows us to at least sort of try new things. So it's been a bit of an issue, obviously, this season, a lot of injuries, but it allows us to sort of start looking at midfielders to come in, maybe a different profile, or younger players who can sort of come in and also different to have already. Now, obviously, midfielders is something that we're looking at in January. I mean, at the moment, I have no idea who it's going to be, because it could be Edison's, it could be anyone else, but I don't know who you guys are thinking of at the moment. But I just someone I think a bit different. It's what I want at the moment. Someone a little bit like a bit of energy, a bit of aggression. You guys want in midfield?
Look, mate. So I think in regards to the midfield, yeah, Pep clearly has serious trust issues with the midfield position. It's obviously he sees it as the most important position on the pitch. I think he's so reluctant to play certain people there. He's so reluctant to take people out of there as well. You look at Rico Lewis. I think he likes to play Rico there, right? Because Rico Lewis, there's no denying he's technically a fantastic player. Physically, on the other hand, he's at the moment, in my opinion, he's getting bullied, and it's a big reason why we're struggling in certain games, because in the midfield we are physically getting dominated. Now, like I said, he trusts Rico there because he is so technically good, and I think training gives Pep a false hope, because you see Rico in training playing so well, probably, like I said, with him being so technically good, he's probably, dominating the midfield in training. But then when you get on the weekend or in a real game, it's not translating, because in a physicality standpoint, the other team is not going to play like the training. They're dominating him, and they're getting up on him, and they're bullying him a little bit. So I think in midfield, I want to see some physicality getting brought into there. I think immediately, I'd rather see personally. I don't want to see Rico in there. I want to see either Nunes or even O'Reilly in there, because of the dominance that he can bring physically. That's me. In terms of a signing, I'd love to see someone like Bruno. I'd love to see us spend big money on him. I just want to see big money getting thrown down, because he's such an important position. I want to see, risk being taken in terms of the transfer spend. I want to see 100 million getting thrown down, minimum.
Yeah, with Bruno G in the summer, right? I did keep thinking, like, I know I'm not saying he's the one like that, but I thought he's someone different to what we've already got. He's obviously a bit more aggressive. He's got a mixture of Fernandinho and probably Gundogan. I'm not saying he's the level of both them players, but he can defend and be aggressive, also go forward and have long shots, and is afraid to go for it in that situation. And that's what we miss in that midfield right now. I mean, obviously Rodri was that kind of player for us anyway, but Bruno would have been someone of, I'm not saying that level, but someone of a very, very good quality in his own right to come in and hold that
same kind of
down.
profile.
Exactly. That's what we need. I think, look, Zubmendi's a great player. Is he world class? That's a big word for anyone. I don't need world class at the moment. We need someone who can at least do a job and is going to get stuck in and do what he needs to do, because we need someone to do that dirty work midfield, because Gundogan can't do it anymore, or do it anyway. He's 34 now, legs have gone. Lewis is just too small and also too young himself. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he has got experience for it, but you can see out there at the moment the way he's playing, he's just not got the legs or the strength for it right now to do that job. You need someone who's got a bigger build, can hold the ball up well, and get everyone else into play. That's what we need. So for me, Mendy could do a job. Edison, I haven't seen a lot of him, obviously, for Atalanta, but I know he's a decent player. We need someone who can do that job, who can sort of get a bit more of a calm midfield, like no mess, like a bit more of a settled team, and just go from there. Like, obviously, when we get Rodri back from injury, it'll be a lot better, but just someone here and now who can just do a job for us when we need it. But I'll ask you as well. I mean, who do you want in midfield at the moment?
Well, right now, I mean, of course, like I mentioned, Zubamendi. Of course, he's obviously the obvious one that one that sticks out to me. But of course, like, yes, I do love the idea of Bruno Guimaraes. But of course, with Tiki dilly-dallying with the fee, that kind of like, and yeah, which kind of made me pull my hair out a bit. Which the reason why I didn't think it was going to happen, not because it was a combination of Tiki dilly and dallying with the fee, but of course, like, he just didn't have his heart set on leaving Newcastle, because he's pretty much loved there, and he's obviously the captain there now as well now. So of course, I'd love to see him there in January, but I can't see that happening personally. I mean, something for the here and now. Oh goodness, I loved like I said, Edison from Atalanta is very good. Zubin are the ones that sticks out to me. But of course, like, there are so many midfielders. I don't know who, but it's got to be someone that's not only can steady the ship, but also someone that can physically dominate the midfield. Because I do agree with the matches I've been seeing, we have been physically outfought, outfunked in every way, shape, or form, and the results have proved that. And of course, the middle of the park is just like, yeah, it just screams disaster as well. And I would love to see, I do think it will happen. The groundwork has been laid on. I know there's some talk of lately of Borussia Mönchengladbach's, I think, what's the gentleman's name again? Is it Ritzler, something like that? I think that's his name as well, and of course, Stuttgart's Angelo Stillo as well. He's been
Yeah.
there's the games because I do watch a little bit of Bundesliga matches as well. So I just hope that there's a solution out there in January, which I'm sure there will be. Because yes, I mean it's not desperation, more like we do need someone for now. It's like we need someone that's gonna really help steady the ship and hopefully push us going forward. Because I have to accept the fact in realism that the real rebuild will be in the summer of 2025, where you're gonna see a lot of movement, not only from an incoming perspective, but from an outgoing perspective as well. And of course, with the incoming of the sporting director Hugo Vara, which of course, having been impressed by his work at Sporting Club de Portugal, I know he's not the type to dilly-dally. I don't think he'll miss about. He'll definitely get straight to the point and of course, while he's like I mentioned in the last stream, yes, I know he's in Portugal now doing his job there as a sporting director, but I can guarantee you right now, he has his one eye on the players' contracts, wages, and expiry dates on all of them, and I'm pretty sure he has his idea of thinking, okay, he has to go, he has to go, he has to go, he has to go. They're staying, and he's got his idea about who he said to Pep, these are the guys that you've got to bring in, and they will do a good job for you. I'm pretty sure he's got his eye on that right now while he's in Lisbon.
Yeah. Juan, can I just ask you, mate, before making any signings, what would you do with the midfield now until January? Say, obviously, before we make a signing, what's your midfield looking like right now, like for the best of it?
Well, for right now, I mean, in order for Gundogan to play in the six, he needs legs with him, because you can't just Bernardo Silva looks like he needs a break. He's obviously exhausted right now as well. I think, yes, I know he plays every game, but play for 7 years straight, playing almost every game, and obviously it's going to take his toll and it's catching up to him right now. Obviously, I know he's only 30, of course, but for right now, I would love to see De Bruyne start if he can hold it together with him. I would love to see Nico Riley get a shot. I mean, look, he does have the attributes of being physically dominant as well. I thought he did well in the Community Shield, and I thought he did well in the Carabao Cups, but I just love to see a little bit more of him. I would love to see more of him if Pep just gives him a chance to do it. I understand that, you're waiting for the signings come back, but of course, Rodrigo's not going to be back until what I would say, in acceptance, until the start of the new Premier League season. Realistically, right now, I know I've seen his interview saying that he said he could be back this season, but listen, personally, I don't see that happening, because of course, got to see how he's like. I know he's progressing very, very well with his injury, but we can't be waiting right now. It's all about who can you bring in right now because I think, listen, if I can see it as a fan, Pep has to see it as a coach, saying you can't keep on letting the midfield being overran, overpowered,
being dominated,
overfung, and it's come on, you've got to do something. I would love to see Nico Riley get a shot tomorrow, or if any of the games go, maybe in the lesser games, or just to give him a really, really good shot. I mean, you promoted him for the first team for a reason. Why not give him a shot?
Yeah, I agree, mate.
I agree in that one. So, a tomorrow's game, Forest at home, it's a huge one. I mean, I know it's a bit big anyway, but I think the aim should be now to obviously stop the rot. We have to at this point. You can't keep this run up going. A draw isn't good enough. A win, it has to be a win tomorrow. Has to be a win. What team do you start tomorrow? Is it a different team than Anfield? How different is it going to be? What do you think it's going to be, guys?
I think Bernardo and Foden need a break. I think the midfield, it's almost definitely going to be Gundogan again in the six, but I'd play Nunez and Grealish with him just for a bit more energy. And then, Doku and Savinho, just give them both a go on the wings, give them a chance to get back into form again. Obviously Haaland, not obviously Edison. Ortega might play again. I said before, I think the defence should be Akanji, Diaz, Ake, Guardiola. That would be my team anyway.
Yep. Steve?
I think I listened to Pep's press conference a little bit earlier, and by the sounds of it, it does sound like Ortega might get the nod again, which is interesting. I'm okay with that, really. I mean, not that I don't like Edison. I love Edison, but I think Ortega's fantastic as well. I mean, some of the saves that he made against Liverpool was unbelievable, mate. Some of the saves that Ortega makes are saves that I don't know many keepers that can make. There was one in particular where I think the guy was offside. I think it was Gakpo. He was offside, and he went to wrap the ball in the bottom corner, and this guy stretches and picks the ball out the bottom corner. It was an unbelievable save. So I'm all right with that. I think, like I say, with what he's mentioned about for the first time in 3 years, he's mentioned Grealish potentially coming in midfield. We might see that. We might see that this tomorrow. I'd like to see that as well. I think that might be the only thing we might see different, to be honest, because I think, as much as we might want to see different things, perhaps a stubborn man, and the fact that we might see Grealish is a madness because, I'd be very surprised because of how stubborn he is, but I think he should do it. Other than that, I think it's going to be more or less the same, apart from, I don't know, maybe with the wings. I think Savio will 100% start because he has liked Savio, clearly. He's played him a lot, and, it was quite a surprise to not see him play to start against Liverpool, so I think he'll probably start. Doku looked fantastic when he come on for me. I think he should start as well. And like I say, with Jack in the middle, because Jack deserves to play.
Yeah,
Doku deserves to play. You can't play them both on the left wing.
No.
So Jack Grealish has got to go in the middle.
Fun.
I would say the same team as well, in my opinion. I think, like what you just said, I think Ortega Moreno will probably continue in goal, and I would love to see the defense of with Akanji at right back, with Diaz and Ake and Gavardio at left back as well, and the midfield. I love to see Gundogan in the six, and he needs the legs around him with Grealish and Nunes around him. And I think the front three should be the front three: Savinho, Doku, and Haaland. And Doku I thought he was so exceptional when he came off the bench against Liverpool, and I feel like his confidence is getting back now, guys. As you can see, it's obviously he's been injured quite a bit as well, so now he's got back. And what I love about him is that regardless of the fullback he faces, the opposition, stadium wherever he is, he just looks so good, and I think he's not afraid to run at you and just have a go. And And look, I know he was getting quadrupled on, and he still found a way out. He still finds a way out of it as well. And I think from this point on, you're definitely going to see Doku at his amazing best going forward. I think, like I said, last season and the first half of this season, he's still able to find his feet. But I think from this point forward, I think you're definitely going to see Doku just cause a lot of trouble to the fullback from this point forward. And I'd just love to see him. Hopefully, I think this is his chance to really staple that left wing and just say, this is my position. I'm going to make it my own. No way you're going to drop me. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to cause a lot of hell for the fullback from this point forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know when you talk about a street footballer, that's a street footballer right there. Some people, they say Phil Foden's like a street footballer. That Doku, he's the definition of what a street footballer is. When I used to play in them parks as a kid and whatnot, there was always that one guy that I just loved to see play. Even as a little kid, I used to love playing with that one guy that would just drop his shoulder, just throw a step over in there, do a drag back. For 5 minutes, he gave Alexander Arnold nightmares, mate. Even though they won that game, Alexander Arnold wouldn't have slept that night because he'd be having nightmares about what Doku did to him in that corner flag.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Right, we'll end the show. I'll give us predictions for tomorrow. I'll go 2-0 City. I think, look, I don't really after the high scoring of it. Obviously, if it is, I'll be buzzing with that. But just get the win. That's the priority. Get the 3 points on the board. Get a platform going for the next game and go from there. Danny, predictions for tomorrow, mate.
I'm almost scared to predict the score now. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea. I'm just going to say 2-1, and I'm not going to say who to.
Go on, Steve.
I'm going to go 3-2 City, mate. I think we're going to concede goals. We're going to have to score more if we're going to want to win the game. 3-2.
All right, Hong.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-0 win. I mean, personally, for me, I just want a win tomorrow. I mean, I forgot what that felt like. I haven't felt like that since the 1-0 win against Southampton. So
it's been a whole month, man. It's been a whole month.
It's been a whole month, but the thing is, like, this is what makes me stay as a fan and appreciate the hard times more. I've seen a lot worse. When I mean a lot worse, when I was a young boy. When I mean a lot worse. I think if I can stomach 06-07 under Stuart Pearce, if I can stomach an 8-1 loss to Middlesbrough, if I can basically stomach a 2-1 defeat away to York City, that's probably the lowest point. Then I think I can stomach the last month without any problems whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That but bring on tomorrow. It's a huge game. Just get the win, lads. I don't care how you do it. If it's 1-0, just get a win from somewhere and go again. I think the that should be now. The league, I'm not saying it's over, but just think about yourselves a moment. Get up second again. Say we're fifth now. Get the second again. Get a gap, and then let's see what happens. So obviously, let's see what happens to Liverpool. Drop point. That's good. Obviously, he cut the lead down again to like 9 points, and let's see what happens from here on out. But yeah. Bring on tomorrow, huge game. Let's stop the rot. Let's stop the rot. Big up everyone in the chat for joining. Big up to Steve and Huang for joining again on the panel. Alex isn't here. He's probably watching at a hotel right now anyway, so I'm sure he'll be on it.
He's never here, is he? He's a part.
Thanks for letting me come on your channel, mate. Appreciate it.
Awesome, mate. Always welcome on the channel, mate. Again, mate.
Thank you very much, Luke, for having me, man. I appreciate you guys.
No worries, lads. We'll have you guys on, and we'll see you guys in the next show on Thursday or whenever we're on next. Hey guys, have a good evening.
Thanks everyone. See you next time.